Last episode of the season, 10th episode of the season, 30th episode overall, Josh.
Yeah.
We're so basically for you guys that have just clicked in, we let a randomizer wheel choose what Super Nintendo game we get to play. The good, the bad, the ugly, all the above. So then we play it. We're going to rank them every 10 games. We're going to rank them each season, 1 through 10. And then we're dumping them into the big list at the end of the season, which will be the next episode, where we move these into the list that's got 20 other games. And then we will argue our case for some being higher than others, maybe agreeing, maybe even changing each other's mind. So the last one to finish up this season is going to be a whopper. Sim Ant. Have you ever played this game, Josh?
No, I have not. I've never played Sim Ant, and I love the whole sim game.
I do. I agree. I feel like there's a lot, but there's probably way more than you would ever expect. I would imagine. I've not went and looked up how many actual sim games there are, but it's kind of like probably tennis shoes or socks. There's probably one of them out there that is for you,
that fits you.
Yeah, and so this one is Sim Ant, the Electronic Ant Colony. You want to hear what the back of this box looks like, Josh? Now, the front of it's got a big-ass ant on it, so...
I'm assuming the back of the box has a big-ass ant on it as well.
Well, it's got gameplay on the back, and I think of that commercial where they've got, like, an ant problem, and it's, like, Aunt Kathy in the other room or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
so,
the new... the insurance commercial.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Geico or who it is, but, so here it goes. On the back, it says, Ants. You've shared your food, your home, and your planet with them. You've stepped on them, sprayed them, cursed them, and bombed them. Now you can be them. Experience life as an ant. For Queen and Colony, face hungry spiders and menacing hordes of enemy ants, eating yummy caterpillars and drive those yucky humans out of the house. Based on real ants, Sim Ant has the depth of play and serious gaming challenge to really drive you buggy. Scenario games pit you against evil red ants, each level getting harder. Win the full game and drive out the humans and take over the house. The tutorial game teaches you to be a bug and shows you the basics of life as an ant. You'll find game-playing strategies and real ant facts in the Ant Encyclopedia, and a long-life battery lets you save multiple games. Sim Ant is about the closest to being an ant without growing more legs, removing your brain, and living in a hole of the ground. Does that make you want to be an ant, Josh?
No, it does not.
I do think that it's kind of a unique... There's a couple of unique things in this game. And I feel like... I kind of like the way the box comes out. You know, you've shared your food. You've killed them. You can be one now. Like, I feel like I like that breaking the what do they call it, the fifth wall or whatever.
Yeah.
So here's going to be a little bit of craziness going on. This was released on a ton of shit, Josh.
Really?
A lot of stuff that I've never even heard of before. So it was developed and published by Maxis, which is part of, I think it eventually came on to be Siraxis. You know, they're the Sim people, you know.
Yeah.
So this was released across several years. In 91, this game was released on Mac, MS-DOS, and Windows 3 point whatever version. In 92, Amiga got one. In 93, FM Towns got one. What the fuck that is, I don't know.
Yeah.
93, NEC space PC 9801 got a game. I don't know what the hell that must be a damn calculator or something. The X68000 got one in 93, and the Super Nintendo got one in 93. How the fuck did Sega not get one of these?
Yeah,
you know?
Where's the Gamecast?
But yeah, it was just like, holy shit, I don't even know what half this stuff is, you know?
It's gotta be early day computers, right? Like, it has to be.
I would think. Computers, operating systems. I know there was a lot of weird stuff, back in the late 80s that was coming out.
Yeah.
So to put it in perspective, in SimCity, you build your city, right? And I think I've never really got into The Sims, but, you basically live your life.
You build a home.
Yeah, so, this is exactly what it is. It is a single player. I guess you would call it life simulation game, but you're an ant, or it's part of an ant colony. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, the game kind of has a fucking story with it when you turn it on.
It does.
Which is kind of weird, but kind of cool, you know. So I kind of wrote this down because
it's
I don't...
partially entertaining.
So it kind of reminds me a little bit. The first scene kind of reminds me of like A Bug's Life. It just shows all these ants and a little bit of grass. And it starts basically saying the nest has survived and it's time to fly away and start new colonies. The males and females fly into the sky one last time to mate or some shit. That's exactly what I wrote. They do something up there. I don't know. And then they land in some dude's yard. Soon after they fly, the males die and the females find a new colony and lose their wings. And then there's a weird wing scene going down with that wing kind of like that is really weird. But I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? Like, I don't even... Does Sim City and any of them sim games actually have a startup like this? I think you just kind of start... Maybe you just hit start and you start at the house.
I think it's like Sims 2, 3, or whatever, like whenever you create your family, there's a little startup of you like going to the neighborhood or something like that. But yeah, besides that, no, I don't think there's any startup.
There was more... That was more than I expected out of this game. And I'm not sure if I liked it or I didn't.
I thought
it was strange.
It was strange, but you know, whenever you get the close up to the ant's face, I immediately thought of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Anytime I think of Sam Ant, I think of Anthony off of Wasp, or Ant-Man and Wasp and all that. And, you know, the game is... So... This cutscene comes out, and this is, I guess, the story of the game. I don't even know what the fuck it is. So I guess you're the female ant because it says the males die shortly after flight, and so then you basically land in this dude's yard, and you're just big O. I guess you're the queen ant.
Yeah,
I don't know what
you're
the bad bitch of this colony, and so you're basically walking around this yard in a top down view, and then you pick where you want to go. And hit the button, I think it was B, and then you go underground, and then that was more of the Sim City top feel, is you could actually like build your
little hive.
Yeah, your ant, whatever the hell that colony, you know. And so then you lay your eggs, and so then the game, from what I understand, is you're basically just trying to run... You land in this dude's yard, and you're just trying to run him out of his house, I guess. You're trying to run him out of his house and kill all these red ants, and, of course, there's obstacles like spiders and
millipede, centipede thing.
Yeah, caterpillar. I don't know what the hell it is. But that's pretty much it. It's like a sim... I feel like it's a strange simulation game on the top-down view, and it's a really strange... it's a strange game, like SimCity style, but built in your bunker. Which, you know, it's kind of cool because I think everybody's seen those videos where, like, they put aluminum in an anthill and how far them go. So, yeah, you're trying to kill everybody else, protect your hive. You know, your queen's laying eggs, and basically you're controlling a bunch of damn ants and trying to take over this house and kill all the red ants and spiders and anything that comes in your way.
Trying to take over the yard and the house.
I think that's pretty much about the whole story of it. I will say the controls are pretty limited on it. I mean, you move it around. I didn't use it, but I did see that you could use a Mario Paint mouse with it.
Yeah.
I don't have one, or I didn't have one to play this game with. But, yeah, it's pretty much B and... You know, X and Y can be used, but they're kind of like centering buttons. I think, like, you know, to kind of center on your ant. But I think B's pretty much the action button. It's just kind of point and click. I mean, it's kind of how SimCity is when you think about it. You scroll the mouse over, and you click on it, and you know, it's either like a right click or a left click. And,
you do the action.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Is there anything that I missed on the startup, or... I did say when I was going through there, this game did come out in 93 on Super Nintendo, but obviously it was already developed. In 91, they were already churning this out.
Yeah. No, I don't think you missed anything on startup or anything like that. Like I said, it had a weird story at the beginning, so...
I don't know that, and I haven't determined which way it goes, but like, I'm pretty sure the theme of this game is just fucking weird. Like, that is the theme of this game. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you want to hop on over into Make It and Break It?
Yeah.
I got to say the first thing, there's certain things I'll say, like in a sports game, it follows the rules of sports. Here's another thing that I will say when it's there. It's definitely a fucking original game. I've not ever played a game like this.
No.
And I appreciate you making a game that's not a remake. I mean, football games are football games. Baseball, yeah.
Sports are sports.
Even though they're different, a Final Fantasy game is definitely Final Fantasy. And even though this did have, like, a sim, I mean, when you broke it down, like, certain aspects did have, like, a sim feel, like Sim City, sim, or whatever sim game you want to talk about. There was definitely aspects, but I don't think I know I haven't ever played a game where I'm simulating a ant colony, and I don't know if there's even another game that's been made after this that simulates such a thing.
I have no idea either.
So, I mean, it's definitely an original game.
It is. It definitely is an original game. And like you said, kudos.
And I do have on here, too, somehow they put a story with an ant simulation, which it just blows my mind. I'm very entertained by it. I don't think it was really that great, and I think it was weirder than anything. But I'm like, hey, there's games that have like big followings that do not have as much story. I feel like we played plenty of games that. I mean, this is a game you're doing an ant colony. I don't think you need a story, but bravo. I mean, you're spending money on a game. At least you are going to you're putting a little dressing with it. You're putting some effort out.
Yeah,
and that's one thing I think that I do appreciate with it is it feels like if it misses the mark, it's not because of lack of effort. I feel like they put a lot of effort into this to try to create it. Whether it hits or not, it's different. And it is, I've already mentioned, it's definitely a sim game. At least part of it feels that way. Because, like, even in the left where you have, like, your hot buttons. I remember that in Sim City.
Yep.
Now, I have some of this in the Break It, too. But, like, if you put me on this game, I would say, hey, this is kind of like a sim game, just with the menus. I don't know that if you would have told me, it wouldn't have told me the name of it, Sim Ant, and I didn't see nothing other than the gameplay, it would have probably took me a minute to try to connect those dots. But I would have, the first thing when I seen all the save and all that stuff in the top left, that's the first thing I would have thought. I was like, hey, this is kind of like a Sim City game.
Yeah. I agree with that 100% because the fact is, I mean, I grew up playing Sim City. I think it was Sim City 3000.
3000, 2000. I know which one you're talking
about.
I played the shit out of
that thing was fire. That thing was amazing.
And I'm sure I remember playing like that one was iconic. I remember playing it on PC. That may be my goat of sim games.
Yeah, it has to be.
Now, and I remember Sid Meier had Sim Golf, and that was a good one. I mean, hell, you got all this stuff like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon. It started. I mean, I'm not going to say they started it. I don't know that. But I think the Sim franchise is probably the most successful.
Yeah, and again, the most successful one on there, for like I said, personally, I mean, they don't make any more Sim City games. They just make Sim games that I've seen. I don't think there's a new Sim City.
And man, I could have about bet that Sim City and the whole Sim was dead until The Sims came out. And it was a fucking craze when it came out. And I'm sure that it's still, I've not looked at like top grossing PC games, but I bet that, it's kind of like World of Warcraft and stuff like they just keep churning out like expansions.
Well, World of Warcraft went down a little bit until they introduced the original classic, and then it skyrocketed again. But back to that whole thing is like you said, like playing sim games, you knew this was a sim game even if you didn't. Like it had the same setups that this style game does with this franchise. Like, I hate to say it, but if you play Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, I think there was another one, Aquarium Tycoon, the Tycoon franchise, it had its own setups of how things flowed too.
Now, and I've not looked this up, but at the same time, you can shoot fish in a barrel, when you've got like a good idea and you're, making money on it. I mean, SimCity, I feel like was a big game. I don't know if it was SimCity 2. I remember SimCity 2 or 3000. Well, how many games can you really make about building a city? That's one thing. So, I think that is why this, Maxis came out with some of these different games. Like, I know they had Sim Earth and, Sim Ant, and they have all kinds of sim games because it's like, at the end of the day, I mean, if you made 70 sim games and you churned them out every year, how many times do you really want to build the same city? I mean, you're essentially building, it don't matter if you're building a Wild West saloon or you're building this. I mean, it's really, I guess they still do that because, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'm sure, is just about the same when you break down the bare bones of it as Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah,
and like
it's
these
the same.
tycoon games. But at the same time, it's like, I think they were smart, and they're definitely smart because they've made a ton of money.
They've made
They're still churning shit out, So I think that they knew early on, like, hey, we've got to keep pushing the envelope. We need to come up with something else. And I do like that. And one thing that was kind of cool, especially, I mean, when you're talking MS-DOS and Windows and Super Nintendo, is I didn't know what to think about having the two different types of levels. Like, basically, when it was top down, I was like, oh, this is kind of, I don't know what to think. We're going to play a whole game top down as an ant. And then you go down to where you can actually build your colony or your hill or whatever you're going to call it, your nest. And for that being a early game, like in 91, even though it was 93 on Super Nintendo, I thought that was kind of a neat aspect. It was unique, and a lot of the stuff in this game was pretty unique. It wasn't just, hey, let's run over here and kill ants. It was also, hey, let's kill ants, but let's build a nest and hatch a bunch more ants to go kill more ants.
I have to thrive.
Yes.
You have to thrive. And just so you know, I done a quick Google search. The last SimCity game was made in 2013.
What was the name of it? Just
SimCity. SimCity.
Remastered, probably.
Maybe, and it's on Microsoft, Windows, Mac, and all that stuff. But now there's a SimCity Build It that came out a year later, so 2014. And it's an app you can download. So
okay,
maybe playing that on my phone.
I think that the sim games would be built great for apps, especially when you're playing like Clash of Clans and some of these other games that like where it's time based, where you've got to wait so long. I think that
would be amazing.
Now it makes so much sense. We're probably ignorant, and this has been going on forever. And that might be the best way to ever to play a sim game. I've never even thought about it.
Guess who's going to try?
So another thing in here, I've got 3 things left on Make It. I did put in here that the spiders are a neat aspect. They're kind of assholes. I didn't play it long enough to be able to kill a spider, but
okay,
I did get myself. I purposely threw myself at the feet of a spider, and yeah, he makes pretty short work of a damn ant.
He does. I
built my colony right next to the son of a bitch. It's like, let's see what happens here. Did not make enough ants to kill him.
I will admit, I played it long enough to conquer 6 squares.
Okay, you did way better than me.
Yeah. I hate myself for putting this amount of time into it.
Well, don't worry. Wait until we get to speed run.
There's speed runs?
There are speed runs.
No.
Yes. And they're fucking ridiculous. I'm just going to tell you. Just to give you a little sneak peek of what we got coming, Josh.
There has to be days.
We got fucking speed runs. No, it is not fucking days. We've got fucking speed runs. We got reviews. We got fun facts. We got everything with Sam. We got it all.
Okay.
So the spiders were pretty neat because, like, they're pretty much, I mean, I don't know, I guess you call the red ants your main nemesis as you're taking over, but by God, that's the biggest son of a bitch. Like, that's it. Like,
yeah, the spiders are assholes.
You better have your shit together to go fuck with a spider.
The only way you can kill a spider is if you hit that quit bar and, what was it, recruit swarm?
Recruit 5, recruit 10, like, or recruit all.
Yeah, you have to hit recruit all.
And, so that part was pretty neat. I mean, at least it was something to look out for. Now, I don't think that I ever accidentally stumbled across one. Like, I built my hive next to one. I just went the other direction. He seemed not to fuck with me. But then I was like, hey, what's up? And, yeah, it didn't go too good for me. I didn't really mess with it too much. But I will say, hey, like you say, you put effort into it.
You did.
And you got a fucking ant encyclopedia in this thing.
Which was, I'm not gonna lie, which was kind of interesting because I read the encyclopedia and I hate myself for it because I know more about ants than I ever should know.
If you wanted to learn about fucking ants in 1993, I can tell you in this town, I felt like I was one of the first people to get fucking internet in like 98 or 99 from PC service. It was cococo.net was the service that we had. If you want to learn about a fucking ant, you had to go get an encyclopedia. You had to go to a fucking library.
Yep.
So, hey, you know,
this game done it for you.
It did, and even though I didn't use it, it was pretty cool that it was there. But I think some of the SimCity games and all that, they'll put a lot of information in there that is just kind of, hey, let's crinkle your brain with a little knowledge. I mean, I don't think that there was a whole lot of facts in here.
They're trying to make that brain buff.
Yes.
Trying to make that brain lift some weights.
But at the same time, you know, the sole purpose to me of a simulation game, you know, there's a little bit of luck in there, but it's like, I mean, you can play the same game, end up with completely the same or different scenarios with different strategies. And to me, you know, some of these games is somewhat like a chess match. It's an exercise. You know, your brain's working. Like, hey, you know, just something like a normal SimCity game. Are you focusing on the buildings or to take care of the people? There's always a balance.
Yeah, you're doing too much agriculture or too much industrial for your residents. You don't have enough people to run this. You need to work on your people. Oh shit. You don't have enough emergency crews. Oh, hey, you need some calmers.
So I don't think that I would say that you would have to be smart to play sim games or like to go back to the Ant Encyclopedia. But I feel like that they want to challenge you to use your mind.
They do.
And whether you are a freaking genius or just average level middle-aged man like me, you can still use a strategy that works for you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool, the encyclopedia. And I've got one thing left that is completely stupid that I absolutely love about this game. Is there anything that you want to put in here, or you want to hear this?
I want to hear this, because, I mean, you covered my two that I got.
The background images was pretty damn cool on the top down. So, like, outside, just the debris in the yard.
Okay, yeah.
So, like,
that was pretty entertaining.
You have your golf balls and freaking spilt peas, but then, like, when you go inside the house and there's, like, the light sockets and, like, pencils and stuff, like, that was kind of cool because as an ant, like, to us, that's nothing. It's, you step on it, you kick it, you pick it up, throw it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But to them, you're right. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's like, this is an obstacle. Even though it wasn't really like an obstacle in the game, it's like, oh, shit, there's some color pencils or something, you know? Or, hey, here's an electric outlet. What's this do,
Too bad you can't commit suicide on it.
Pretty sure you can. I think I did, or I got fucked up by another ant. I'm pretty sure I walked into the damn light socket and got electrocuted. But
I didn't try that, but
like, I thought that was really cool because, I mean, at the end of the day, when you were building your colony, it was pretty plain. It's just a bunch of dirt.
Yeah, dirt.
And at least the top down, I guess you would say is visually appeasing, but, it was just kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if you said, hey, if I go out here in your yard, what are you going to find? I'm like, I don't know, a couple of magnolia pods or seeds or whatever the hell they're called. I don't know, probably a cigarette butt that's been flipped out down the road, or a Gatorade bottle, or
some fire ants.
I'm sure there's probably a pencil or ink pen or box cutter or receipt or something floating around in there, and so that was kind of cool, of something that I felt like I wouldn't have thought about that I did enjoy.
Yeah, I will admit that was pretty entertaining. I guess you can add that to my make it side. I didn't really, I mean,
you were just taking it at face value.
Yeah, I was taking it at face value, and my goal was to at least kill a spider.
I felt like the background images was probably my favorite part because that's just what made me kind of like, it wasn't like I was really laughing. It was like a chuckle.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get you. I see what you're doing.
It's a
there.
little bit of a pity laugh.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would have been really boring if it was just grass.
It would have.
Or dirt or whatever. So, it was a little break in the monotony. That's all I got for Make It. You ready to hop into Break It,
Yeah,
Josh?
let's do this.
You want to... The floor is yours. Air your grievances.
I can air out the biggest grievance, or I can save it for the end, because I know it's on yours.
Well, we'll save it, because I'm sure it's probably the first thing I've got here.
It probably is.
I don't know. I've got several that are probably, like, very close together. You choose what you want to do. You go with it.
Okay, well, I'm going to say my biggest until you bring it up.
Okay.
So, number one, this game was not made for Nintendo. Absolutely. This, I can understand it on PC, but playing this on a console was nearly impossible for me.
Well, I will tell you that I agree. Let me see here what I'm doing.
And
There's two things that I have marked down here that pretty well
sums it up for PC.
Well, yeah, it goes in with it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I could be spoiled because the first Sim game I played was Sim City. So I mean,
Well, SimCity came out before this game, so I mean, it's the problem. I think most successful sim games, and I could be out of key on this, just in my experience,
are PC based.
are
Right?
PC. I've never played a very successful sim game, like a SimCity game, on a console.
Yeah,
it's a PC game.
Yeah, the only successful sim game on console is The Sims.
I don't even know that's a console. I think that's probably still the majority of that's probably still PC.
It 100% is, but like I said, I mean, I can go out right now and buy Sim 4, 5, whatever it is, for console.
So when you say that this wasn't made, this was weird for Super Nintendo, I believe is what you said, is there's two things. The first thing is the scrolling hurt my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, and I think somebody had said something about it being, like, on a grid, but when you scroll, it wasn't... I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't fluid.
It was motion blur before motion blur was a thing.
So it was, I mean, it wasn't like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to throw up, but it was like, when you scrolled over, like, I'm just, like, trying to find out where to go find some damn peas. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. I don't want to see this anymore.
And then having to use the directional pad to do the mouse movement, that was almost impossible.
And so this is maybe one of the four things I can say fucking pissed me off the most. That goes in with it. I don't think this was made for Super Nintendo. It should have been made for Super Nintendo. Is the B button command was not fucking good at all.
No.
Try to pick up a goddamn P or anything. It was like, I swear I'd hit the B button. I'm like, oh, that's not it. Oh, I recentered. No, hit the, B. It picked up the P after I hit it 3 more times. It was like the B button was delayed on the action button.
It was.
And I didn't like it at all, and that fucking pissed me off.
The controls?
Now, I know on a PC, you just click it.
Yeah.
But the controls, I thought, were
very
bullshit.
laggy. Very laggy.
And so I'm going to take this to go into the controls. Even though this, to me, is a staple of any simulation game, like a sim game, probably a roller coaster. I've not played the Tycoon games. You're
missing out.
I've got them. I've got one. I think I got Zoo Tycoon for 3DS, and I'm just like ready to roll on it, or it's some kind of tycoon. But I've put this. This is a staple of sim games, but not knowing what the fucking icons are.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't take too long, and I didn't devote 3 weeks of my life to play this game and get that deep into it. On the SimCity games, I know they're the same damn way, but you kind of figure it out because I remember it was like. They drew me in enough. I was like, oh, I can't wait until I get home from soccer practice or something to go play this game. And so, like, you learn them. But, yeah, you just get... Now, we don't have instruction books for this game. We're playing through emulation. That part I wouldn't have flipped through the instruction book to find out what it was anyway.
No.
But yeah,
I would have stumbled across it. I would have clicked and found out what it meant and what it done.
random icons. That's kind of sim thing. That's my grievance against all the damn sim games.
I will agree with you on that.
Okay, I'm gonna tiptoe around because I've got like 3 more that could be one of your 2 big brackets. Or
Oh
whatever.
no, trust me. Your bid bracket is probably the exact same one as mine.
All right, so I've got 3 of them that kind of goes around each other. One of them is I don't think this is a ant colony simulation. This is a hot take here. It's a game about fucking peas. Like this whole goddamn game revolves around fucking peas.
You need to eat.
Now I say fucking peas. They probably fuck peas in it too. But it was just like, god damn it. All I ever did in this game was collect peas.
You had to hunt for them.
And I did not like it.
Well, okay. Now think of it this way. In the Sim City games, you don't go worry about food. You go worry about money.
You worry about lodging, money,
Yeah.
growing. Having if you put enough jobs, you gotta have enough shit for the people to live in.
Yeah.
Residential.
Yeah. Then you also gotta have enough shops for them to spend that money at.
Right.
It's all about that overall dollar. Think of the peas like dollars.
I did not. No, I refused to do it because all I felt like was like, hey, I'm just going and grabbing peas. I mean, that was this game to me. Was this game about peas? And then there's 2 other things that go around with it.
Pea collector.
Well, I'm going around getting fucking peas. I didn't like all the gibberish with all the other ants.
That was annoying. Ants don't talk.
There's too many fucking ants.
Yeah.
There's too many fucking ants. Now, mind you, there's too many in real life. When they get in your house, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's probably some ant enthusiasts there. I'm sure if you have an ant farm, I don't even know if that's still a thing. That used to be the thing way back when. But yeah, get ants in your house. Let me know that. Could you use a few more? No, you're gonna be like, fuck these ants.
Yeah.
And I felt like that every time I was going there, where there's a goddamn ant, red ant, and fucking spiders. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot,
and it wasn't. I didn't notice a slowdown on it, but I was just like, man.
Whenever you had a colony and you
I didn't get a huge colony.
and you summoned the horde,
it chugged it down.
oh, it chugged.
Okay.
It chugged.
And then here's another one that pretty well is probably just me. But now I knew this was going to happen because I'm a fucking idiot. And so I'm like, I'm not putting a whole lot of time in here, but I want to, it's just kind of like, hey, I don't have a mansion, but give me a little 1,500 square foot nice house.
Give you the college try.
Yeah, something nice, nothing fancy. But tearing my anthill up by going in and out of it by accident. Like, I didn't spend an elaborate amount of time creating the perfect anthill. But I don't know how many times I'm just going through this anthill, trying to drop peas off and go out. And I fuck this anthill all up. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Just eat all the damn dirt out of the way,
That was a solid one, too. I do admit that. It was way too easy to construct, and I'll put that in parentheses, your anthill. Because you can do it by accident.
So I definitely know the
last one.
Well, I've got a couple more here that I'm going to put in, but I'm sure the one that we're talking about is probably the one that my wife, I think, when she was like, "Fuck that." We'll get to that, but we'll save that one for the last. I know what you're going at. I do have to put in here as well as honorable mention is it's not really fun.
No, it's not.
You kind of seem meaningless at what you're doing.
This is what I would classify as a meaningless game. Is like a hack and slash.
Like a Diablo or something
like Diablo on console. You know, there's not much thinking. You
just level up. You can't get past it. You go level up more.
Yeah, you just run around, explore, hack and slash. This was that without the hack and slash.
Well, mixed in here with this as another note is just trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this whole game just about me getting fucking peas? And I think it is. To me, that's what this game is.
It's about you getting the peas and running the dude out of his lot.
Right.
That's literally all this game is.
I can't get a little fucking anthill keep it together, much less worry about running some dude and his dog out. So here's the other thing. It was like, so you give me now that I'm thinking about this, just off the top of my head, you make a game about fucking peas. Why do you make it so goddamn hard to pick up fucking peas off the ground?
That's where I'm saying. That's the whole mouse and click button on
Like,
the D-pad.
fuck.
It was impossible. But if you had a mouse, the Mario Paint mouse, I about guarantee you it would have been.
I think the action button was equally, if not worse, than the scrolling. The action button was fucking horrible.
It was bad.
All right, you want to go into this one? I'm going to defend part of it. Are you to your last break it?
No, I still got one more.
Okay. I'm just going to say that in SimCity games, there's soothing music. And I will defend the music. It isn't great, but it's not bad. That's the best thing I can say about the music.
I will agree with you on that.
But the fucking sound effects was the worst goddamn thing about this game.
No.
That was not yours?
That was not mine.
Okay, well, the sound effects was bad.
Sound effects were terrible.
You know my wife, when we play Hit the Ice, she's like, what the fuck are you doing in? And she's like, oh, hell no, you just gotta figure, you need to take this shit somewhere else.
Mute this shit.
Yes. The sound was, she's like, yeah, you don't even play this upstairs. I've got my mini hooked up down here. She's like, yeah, don't even bring that upstairs. I thought the sound effects was
the
fucking
sound effects
horrible.
are terrible, but that was not.
I'm gonna have to. I'm backing down because that was what I thought you were gonna say.
No.
You come at me. What? I've got nothing else. You come at me with.
Okay, here's my thing. Okay, I'm gonna paint a picture. I'm gonna Bob Ross this for you.
Okay.
Okay, playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, the load screen.
Oh, I know where you're
The
going.
load screen takes a while, because it's building the level. You're building the theme park. You're building everything, because that's how games used to be.
Right.
Okay? Nowadays, you install the game so it takes away that whole buffering. Or let me put that in parentheses. It's supposed to take away that buffering.
Okay.
But it doesn't. Why in the fuck does it take almost 5 goddamn minutes to save this game?
Now, I will tell you, this is why I don't have this on here, because it was horrible. I think I just saved it in the first, 5 minutes of the game, and it took 5 minutes. I was just screen capturing. Or save state. Save state was what I was doing.
That's fine. Because I could do the same on my emulator.
Could you imagine?
But I done it. And I'm like, because, we're supposed to review this as the game. So I hit that button, and I'm like, there is no fucking way.
Let me paint this Bob Ross picture. It's 1993. You got SimAnt. I don't know, maybe 94. I don't know when it came out.
You bought
the exact month.
You rented it on a
say
Friday.
You got it for Christmas. You're on like spring break, Christmas break. You're playing it, and it's the day before you had to go back to school. And your mom, dad's like, hey, you little sons of bitches, time to go to bed. And you're like, yeah, give me 5 more minutes. And you're like, 5 minutes later, yeah, you go to bed, 5 more minutes. And of course, you're just sitting there fucking playing, and then you go to save it, and then it gives you that shit. How many, I could just see like my parents just ripping the shit out of the wall. Like, they're like, now mind you should probably start saving it 15 minutes ago. But like, who would have think, I do say, I don't know that I've ever seen a save screen.
This was horrible. It took forever.
I don't know that I've ever seen a save screen.
No, I even remember playing the old games on the floppy disk. Like the big, what was it, the 3-inch floppy? Mm-hmm. Their saves weren't even that bad.
I'm trying to think of a game that had forever long saves. I know, like, maybe some of the first Assassin's Creed load screens. I don't know about saves. I don't know.
Load screens. That's like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Sometimes Skyrim takes a long time to load.
XCOM 2 used to be real bad.
XCOM.
Well, it is still bad. But
saving? No.
this may be the worst timing on a saving that I've ever seen. I will give you that. I will give you
It's
that.
horrible.
I thought you was going to go music. Music was
bad.
I saved my marriage by playing downstairs.
But-
I grabbed my mini, I packed up my shit, took my ball, went home to the cave down here.
But
to play.
no, the saving was absolutely atrocious. It was the worst.
And I mean, I'm not going to get too big into when you bounce between colonies and squares about, losing, your anthill not looking the same and stuff. I think that's just kind of given with this game.
Yeah.
You could harp on that. I think that we've hit the big ones. Do you have anything else you want to agree on?
No, that's it.
All right. So we get that wraps up the break it. So I felt like I was working a little bit. There were more pleasant things in the make it of stuff that really didn't matter that I did appreciate. Like there was more like when you play the game, you're like, this isn't to me. I'm like, this isn't a good game. But when you started dissecting it and looking at some of the aspects, there was more that was good than you thought on surface.
Yeah, I do agree with that because. I said we're trying to rate these fairly. We're at least trying to give them the college try.
Hey, like I say, at the end of the day, I'm rating them on how I see their fun.
Yeah.
So let's drop in.
I at least want to give a college try, and my goal into this was once I found out that there was an enemy, I'm like, I have to kill at least one spider.
I was like,
How
I don't
long
want to
does
play
that
long
take?
enough. Yes, that was the thing, because it was like, to me, I was looking for an exit strategy of let me get the fuck out of this game.
Yeah, no, I played it for far longer than I want to admit. And that was just to kill one spider.
So I've got 2 reviews that we're going to bounce over into. We're going to do reviews, fun facts, speed run,
And then price chart.
price chart.
Okay.
And we're going to rank this. So this one, we've got one from a reputable. I don't know the magazine Dragon. It was in magazine Dragon number 178. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I like the name.
But I did appreciate the review.
Okay.
This was Wikipedia here. I have to include this. And
Is
then
it-
there's one by GamePro.
Okay. GamePro is.
We may have that GamePro in there. We'll talk about this later. There's
I
some
will
GamePro stuff
I will
working out.
dig through all your magazines.
In 1992, so this is before the Super Nintendo one, and this is going to be a problem with some of the stuff as far as the speed runs and stuff, is there were so many platforms on it, and I do think when you bare bone this down, it's a PC game. I don't think anybody's going to argue this.
It's 100% a PC game. This is not a console.
So this review was before the one in Super Nintendo had ever came out. In 92.
And this is for Dragon, right?
Dragon number 178. Now that might be the whole name of the magazine. Dragon. Hashtag 178. I feel like that's issue 178.
It wasn't
I don't
a
know.
hashtag back then. It was £.
Well, there's that. In 92, a reviewer, unnamed in here, from Dragon 178, gave the game a 5 out of 5 stars.
The fuck you smoking?
Stating that players seeking a non-linear, unconditional, and provocative strategy simulation will hit pay dirt with SimAnt.
No.
Okay, so at the end of the day, this shit's been going on for a while. I'm not saying it is here, because I'm sure this game was probably like, whoa, it's SimCity, but you're a fucking ant, Like, I'm sure that was probably what people were
That probably was
But
it.
I'm not above saying, hey, Maxis may have been like, hey, let me give you some money for a good review. So I don't know Dragon View, and I am not going to say that GamePro is Dragon number 178. I do know Dragon View. I've got Dragon View on my mind because this is the last of this season.
Yep.
And I'm very excited to start the new season because I'm very interested in where these games fall. But GamePro named it, and this I think you can probably swallow this one a little easier than the 5 out of 5 stars. GamePro named it Educational Game of the Year,
I give it that.
commenting that SimAnt is a delightful combination of simulation, strategy, and adventure. that kind of sounds a little bit maybe like a purchased review too, but it's a little easier. I don't know there was a whole lot of...
But
what's your other educational games? Was it fucking Mario's Time Machine? I would rather play this than Mario's Time Machine.
Oregon Trail?
Well, I don't know. I feel like GamePro was probably just consoling.
Maybe.
So...
Maybe.
All right. So there is fun facts.
I get it educational because there is an encyclopedia on ants' behavior and everything about ants.
And I guess the gameplay, you really needed the ants to go with you. But here in the fun facts, here's one that maybe it's my big one. This is probably the pinnacle of the episode. Will be the second fun fact I give you, in which anybody who enjoys a sim game should probably kiss sim ants' ass, because they're responsible for a little bit more than you would expect.
Really?
Allegedly. The first one is, according to the Gamebox, which is stats from the Software Publishers Association, just the PC version by 1992 had reported. I don't know if they were the main people that kept track of this, but they had reported that more than 100,000 copies of the PC version of SimAnt was sold. Which probably isn't a lot now, but PC gaming was pretty much in its infancy,
Yeah,
in the 90s. And
that was a new...
You're thinking Doom, Heretic, maybe the Sim Cities.
Yeah.
So, that was probably a big
Dota
game.
was around at that point.
I don't think it was either. So here is the one.
I say Dota came around right whenever internet connections, right?
I don't know. Will Wright... I have him marked down here as the creator. I'm sure there's several creators. But he's one of the main creators, if not the main guy, from the Sim series. Got an idea for a simulation game while playing SimAnt. So while he's playing SimAnt, and it kind of makes sense if you think about it, the whole idea for The Sims came while he was playing SimAnt. If you think about it, hey, you're basically doing an ant colony trying to take over this house. What if you're the people living in the house and you sim it? I mean, I'm not defending that's his thinking, but he allegedly, The Sims, the idea came while he was playing SimAnt. And I feel like The Sims, to me, I didn't like The Sims, but I would imagine that that's probably the most successful series of The Sims.
It is, just because you're a family or you're a bachelor or whatever you want to be.
There was people like how you hear the dudes that get divorces because of Warcraft. There was women that I worked with that were getting divorces because they wouldn't stop playing The Sims. Like, they hit the women as well as they were dudes with that. So I just thought it was like The Sims. Maybe it would have never even happened if it wasn't for SimAnt. I don't know.
Possibility, I mean.
I don't know. I was very entertained by that one. I was like, what? So. So you are not nearly as entertained with the fun facts, huh? I felt like that was the pinnacle. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It was. The pinnacle's not set high for this game.
Okay.
The speed runs may probably entertain me more than the fun facts.
The speed run's going to be frustrating. And they're all ran off MS-DOS through emulation. So what's weird is a lot of times you can click, and if it's a game that's shared on many consoles, sometimes or difficulties, you can click a tab and it brings you up. So like they group together Amiga, MS-DOS, PC, and Super Nintendo into one group. So everybody is in the speedrun. Now, I'm sure the speedrun community, if somebody requests a speedrun for just Super Nintendo, it would happen. I don't think there's enough interest, to be honest. But there's 4 speedruns. Now, I do not know what this speedrun entails. Does it just... at the end of the day, what is you beating a sim game? I don't think you can.
The way I look at it, beating a sim game, is Sim City. You make a full city, whatever tech level you're at,
right,
and make it to where you don't lose money. That, to me, that's a successful
But
city.
At the same time, once you hit that point, I bet if we had still played the original SimCity every day on like Windows 3.1 or whatever, I think the game continues to keep going. Like, there's no beating it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe beating it may be dying. I don't know.
Maybe.
The end of the game. Because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've just got to
Now, to me, for Sim Ant, the way I would classify as beating the game is whenever you zoom out on the map, the overhead map,
that you take over everything.
you take over everything.
And
To me, it's a Conquer game. It's a Sid Meier at that point.
Now, and I don't know what they're considering the completion on this. I didn't watch it. I just pulled it. I screenshotted it here because I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. And you were talking about days, right?
Because the way I look at it is you have to conquer every plot of land. To me, that would be beating the game.
I would probably agree with you. But I think that, like, I know the Super Nintendo had the scenario mode, which I don't think was everywhere. I think MS-DOS probably had like a speed mode on there too. So I'm not going to pretend to know what it is. But the people, if you're listening to a fucking podcast, a shitty podcast at best, Sim Ant, you're going to know how to speedrun this. But the speedrun was set 17 days ago.
17 days ago.
Yes.
Of recording, or about 20 days.
No, 17 days from today. It's been 2.5 weeks since when we're recording this. This was set. So there's 4 people. Do you want me to tell you the guy who doesn't have a trophy next to his name?
Yeah,
he's a Brazilian.
Give me the 4th place.
It's Life. This is all together. Life JPJ.
Okay.
All these were set on MS-DOS. So that's why I'm like, something's happening here.
Yeah.
What would be your guess? So I've done told you days ain't shit. Tell me something stupid. I bet you're probably still wrong if you say something stupid.
I don't know.
I knew when I read this.
I don't know which
I
way
was
to go.
cracking my ass up because I'm like, Josh is going to lose his fucking mind on this more than anything.
I don't know which way stupid.
This may be the most amazing. Like, you know when we play a bad game and it's super expensive and you lose your shit? This may be worse than that.
See, okay,
this may be the...
Okay, that does not help me. Because one hand, I'm like, do I go this way stupid? Or do I go this way stupid?
Send it. Give me one of them and you'll know how right you are.
Okay, so...
This is so stupid.
Full send it.
This is...
I'm going to throw 2 guesses out here.
This is for quick game.
Okay.
Shit, that's quick game. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to throw 2 guesses out here. I'm full sending it in both directions.
All right.
Okay, full sending it, I'm going to say 3 hours and 30-something minutes versus my full sending, which is like 62 days.
Yeah, you're way off. So, okay, I've made a mistake here. I've got quick game, full game, and all scenarios. Either way, they're all fucking stupid. Quick game, let me just tell you, it comes down to milliseconds. Like, it doesn't come down to milliseconds, but they're tracking the milliseconds. I'm guessing that's what MS is. Life JPJ comes in at 4th with, on quick game, 55 seconds, 110 milliseconds.
The fuck you... No!
That's 4th place. Oh my god. I spit everywhere. I'm cracking up.
What?
So, 3 Americans are, I'm guessing, rocking the top. 1 from Texas, Washington, and New Jersey. So we're getting all. ODD-TOM, Odd Tom, is in bronze 6 years ago. He ran it in 28 seconds flat.
No.
This is what they're calling quick game, which I don't think Super Nintendo had. But I don't think Super Nintendo stands a chance at hitting any speed run. Okay, so Odd Tom is out of Texas. This one is all one word. How do you play in Washington, USA? 1 year ago, he owned this fucking speed record until 17 days ago. 27 seconds, 900 milliseconds. What's going through your mind right now? Just
What? No.
New Jersey, USA. It's Izumi Chin Meru. IZUMICHENMEIRU. 17 days ago said it. All this on MS-DOS. 16 seconds, 970 milliseconds.
No.
Full game. So, okay, I'm saving full game. To beat all the scenarios, if you play just the scenario mode, this is going to be the only one that is held by a Super Nintendo player. Because I think Super Nintendo, I don't want to speak out of key, I think Super Nintendo was the only one that had scenarios. Which was still mediocre at best. To beat all the scenarios, a guy named Demo from Illinois, the only guy to complete it, has did it in 12 minutes, 28 seconds, which I feel like is very fucking impressive, too.
That's extremely impressive.
Hey, guess what? When I played scenarios, I still collected fucking peas the whole goddamn time. The full game, there is one, so I'm guessing full game is taking over the house. I didn't see, I was looking for tabs on the consoles, so I didn't see this. So this is, I'm guessing this is taking over the house. It was set on PC 15 years ago. JUNSESETH. Junseth.
Yeah.
Full game.
Full game.
Full game. Full game. You know, you want to take a guess at the full game. Set on PC. I don't know if I don't know what to say.
Fuck. 4 minutes.
You're way high. 2 minutes, 34 seconds.
Fuck. No.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
How?
I don't know if I told you that damn Obidus, and I know it wasn't. If I told you Obidus was the $1,000 game, or I tell you somebody beat Sim Ant in 2 fucking minutes.
I'm not believing you on this.
I don't believe it either, but that's what Speedrun has. I trust him. But I don't know what to tell you.
No, I don't even believe Speedrun. I don't.
Are you shook?
Yes.
Well, not so fast. Let's talk pricing, brother.
No, I'm terrified now.
I will go ahead and tell you, the one that price charting was charting as new was the one that sold on eBay in the past 90 days. So it was to the cent.
It's fresh.
Yes. There was a 97-cent difference on a loose copy and a $10.03 on a complete copy, so they're pretty spot on. Now, the cover art and all that, I wouldn't be opposed to owning it. But a loose copy of this, Josh.
No.
A loose copy.
No.
What would you say it would be worth? What would, yeah, not what you would spend. What do you think it's worth?
What do I think it's worth?
Now, it's a sim game. I mean, I'm not trying to sway you one way or another because I feel like you trust your gut. When you throw a number out there,
I do. I trust my gut.
Don't let me influence you. I'm just laughing because I feel like you would say this game's $2 and I said it's $5. You'd lose your shit saying it's not worth $5.
100%.
So I'm over here just laughing to myself because it's more expensive than I thought it would be in some aspects.
Gut check. I know it's a sim game. Sim collectibles and all that.
I don't think they hold a whole lot of value, at least in the PC world anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I would call this game a $15 game.
You're low.
I figured. I'll
double it up.
Yeah, which would be $30.
eBay, I seen one sell for $30. Price charting had $29.03.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Why not?
A complete. Like, that blows my mind that this is a $30 fucking game. Like, there's probably most of our list of, the 30 games that we played. I've not went through and looked this up, but they're probably, most of these are under $30 damn dollars. You know?
They are, if I'm not mistaken.
A complete copy. What do you think of that, Ross?
Multiply it by 4, so that's 112.
You're pretty damn close. eBay, I found them for 110. Price charting, I had it $99.97.
I mean, it'd be 120. My bad.
Well, you
120.
112. I'll take it by hook or crook. You got within $2. So the same one that's reporting on both. What do you think a brand new sealed copy of
I'm
this is?
terrified to know.
Well, this is what's crazy. I can't believe a loose copy is $30
yeah.
The sealed copy isn't as expensive as you would think.
See?
Do not use your math. Do not use your equation.
Do not use my
you'll
equation?
be way high.
Okay.
So you're talking about $99.97, $110. Just say, hey, $100. You're probably, if you had $100 and you keep looking for a complete copy, you'll probably find it.
$170.
$199.95. A new copy sold.
I was about to say $200. I was going to double it, but yeah.
So I can't believe a complete copy. I mean, if I'm spending, I don't know if I can rationalize with myself. If I'm spending $110 on a complete copy, am I throwing I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Am I spending another $100 making it $200 on a fucking new copy? I don't know. I say I want. There's illnesses out there, you know.
Yeah, you'd buy it. I wouldn't.
So at the end of the day, Josh, I got to ask you. This game is roughly $30 loose. If I had in one hand $15 and in the other hand Sim Ant cartridge, which would you take?
Taking the 15.
I think you're right, and I think you're 100% right. Like,
you could offer me $5 and I would take it.
that's tough. That's tough.
No, it's not, because I did not enjoy this game. I don't have the illness that you do.
I don't. Well, no, I would. I think I would probably take the 15 as well.
No, I'm talking about the 5.
Oh, the 5. No.
I don't have the illness.
No.
I don't have the illness. If I find this game for you, lose, I will take a crisp $5 bill for it.
If you find this game out in the wild and you bring it in here with a $10 bill, I'll take the game. $15, I don't know. I don't know at $15. The problem is, at $10, I can go down to the gas station, buy them Diet Coke and a Snickers, and my $10 is gone. Not that 15 is that much more, but I feel like that's my line. Between, if you said $12.50 or this game, I don't know. I got to gut check myself. I probably still go in game. There's somewhere in between that 10 and 15 range.
I'm taking the 5. I will literally take a $5 bill for this game.
I don't know, man.
Hell, I may even give it to you for free.
I'm just sitting over here cracking up because I feel like between the fun facts, the price charting, the speed runs, I feel like it was more fun than the game itself. I didn't enjoy the game.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the game.
And I like sim games.
I do too. I
like my turn-based games. I like my XCOMs. I like Final Fantasy. There's a lot of stuff I can.
I like my Sim City games.
That's accurate. I do not like the Sims at all.
I do not like the Sims.
I never got into it. Never gave it enough chance. So let's rank these mother effers. I've got us sitting here. We have stand united in the second season. We both, as this goes down the list, 1 through 9, we got Mega Man X2 at 1, Space Megaforce, Fifle Goes West, NBA Live 95. At number 5 is Super Battle Tank, Dirt Track FX, Vortex Hit the Ice, and coming in last is the infamous Caw Boom Boom Super Strike Eagle. Do you know in your heart and soul where you're going to run Sim Ant? I've got mine already marked out. I was thinking about this today, and I don't feel great about it. And this is when we dump this into the grand scheme, when we end the season and put this in with the other 20 games. I don't feel confident. So, I don't know. I feel like this season has been a mix of really good games, better games than we've played in the previous 20, like up there at the top tier.
Yeah.
And then some really freaking horrible ones. So you got Mega Man X2.
Yep.
Space Megaforce. NBA Fifle Goes West. NBA Live. Super Battle Tank. Hang on, I will show you this list. So maybe that helps you.
Okay.
I've blocked mine off, so you
I
cannot see.
I see that.
Because I think we're going to be different on this game.
You think?
I don't think we got the same taste in games, so it's uncanny that I feel like we've had 9 games.
That's true. We do not have the same taste in video games. And I mean, I know where I'm putting it. I really do.
You got to talk it out, or you just going to hit us with it?
My talking out is this. Okay. Overall, I am a fan of useless knowledge.
Okay.
On the right day of Jeopardy, I'd walk away a millionaire.
You could be the GOAT.
I
On
could.
the right day. Or you could be that dumbass that don't even get to play Final
Yeah,
Jeopardy
exactly,
because you're in the
exactly. Or I'm the complete dumbass, you know. So with that being said, I liked all the information.
Okay.
Is it 100% useless to me? 100%. I don't want to know shit about ants. I don't care about ants. I hate ants. They're annoying as shit. Nobody likes them in their house.
And if you step on fire ants, they hurt like shit.
Exactly. So, with that being said, I also love sim games. I take it for what it is. They try something unique. Again, like you said, I don't think another game has been made like this. I don't think they've even tried another game like this. If they did, I may try to play it. I don't know.
Okay.
So, already out the gate, it's not number 10. Super Strike Eagle goes down one. It has to.
I agree with you.
It has to.
We are in unity on that. Super Strike Eagle is the 10th ranked game this season for me, personally.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I have it ranked on here yet until I uncover that.
Until we
Because I thought about it long and hard. Allie's like, "Are you down there sleeping?" I'm like, "No, I'm thinking."
Yeah.
I've got it on my heart where I want to put this game.
Okay. Number 9. That falls to Hit the Ice.
Okay.
Hit the Ice was horrible.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
It was absolutely horrible. It's one of the worst sports games I've ever played.
It's bad. I don't know that I'm ready to tab it with that. That's one of them that's going to gut check me against Roger Clemens. I really didn't like Roger Clemens either. So, but it's bad.
Yeah,
it is bad.
That's 100%
I agree.
true. Those are two really bad sports games. Okay? I think this game's slightly better than Hit the Ice.
Okay.
Slightly better.
Do you think it's better than Vortex?
No. I think it stalls right there.
So if I'm hearing you right,
I think Vortex is slightly better than this game.
so you're telling me that Sim Ant is number 8.
Yes.
So your top 10. This is your season.
This is my season.
Tell me how you feel about this. Number 1, you got Mega Man X2.
The GOAT.
Space Mega Force is number 2.
Yep.
Fafel Goes West is number 3. NBA Live number 4. Super Battle Tank
You
number
didn't finish that right.
What?
You didn't say NBA Live 95.
NBA Live 95.
There you go.
Motherfucker.
Okay.
Super Battle Tank. Dirt Track FX at number 6.
Yep.
Number 7 is Vortex. Number 8 is Sim Ant. Number 9 is Hit the Ice. And number 10 is what, Josh?
Ka boom boom.
I will go ahead and tell you. We have a variance.
Oh shit!
We are not unified.
Okay. Okay.
So we have the same list before this game. I agree with you. Super Strike Eagle was pretty fucking bad.
It was terrible.
Hit the Ice was pretty bad. I think the top, you ain't got to really worry about the top 5 up there. I mean, I didn't like Super Battle Tank. I agree. I would probably rather pay the Super Battle Tank was just a vanilla, plain Jane game to me. It really wasn't that fun. I had to start thinking about Dirt Track FX. I didn't enjoy that. And then I'm sitting there thinking about Vortex, and I wanted to love Vortex. I really did. And I was like, I just couldn't get into playing it. At the end of the day, you're right. Super Strike Eagle is the worst game this season. Hit the Ice is the second worst game. And I don't think it's even close to argue those. Like, I think I've skipped over them.
Yeah.
I got Vortex at number 8. I moved Sim Ant to number 7.
Okay.
So you have Sim Ant at 8. I have it at 7. I have Mega Man X2, Space Mega Force, Fafel Goes West, NBA Live 95. God, that might be the best name. That might be the best name. We're gonna have that as a superlative. Super Battle Tank, Dirt Track FX, Sim Ant at number 7, Vortex, Hit the Ice, Super Strike Eagle. And I did think about it because I wanted to like Vortex more, and I just felt like Vortex was just about unplayable almost. I could play this game, I just didn't enjoy it. So
See, my thing was this. I was so used to Sims on PC. That's my reasoning.
okay,
Like that's 100% my reasoning.
okay.
Is Sims on PC works better.
There's some nostalgia there. I think at the end of the day, if SimCity never existed and you just got Sim Ant and it was the only game that was ever released, it probably falls lower for me. But I can't say Sim without thinking of the collective. I can't even think about the games I've never played, like these Sims, just how big they are.
Yeah.
And Maxis, Firaxis, some of these company names with it too. It's kind of like Bethesda, and just some of these Square Enix, SquareSoft, some of these
Activision
companies,
now,
just the names that you think of, and it's like,
it
brings back a lot.
Yeah, they have some really good bangers, and then you throw this in there. Like, I mean, think of it, Activision. You know, everybody, like, whenever you mention Activision, they was like, Call of Duty. You know, for us, I'm putting this in parentheses, old timers, Black Ops 2. You know, Modern Warfare 2. But we don't speak about Call of Duty Ghost.
No. I gotta tell you, Black Ops 2 is such a good game. I probably had the most fun of any video game because me and Seth played that one. Black Ops 3 is probably my favorite Black Ops game of all time. But as far as multiplayer, I felt like Black Ops 2. That was such a solid
for me,
game.
Black Ops 2 for the zombies.
Yeah, they did have good zombies.
They had great zombies.
Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up right here. Next episode, you've got it. Me and Josh are not the same. He has got Sim Ant one spot below where I do. So next episode, we are going to dump these 10 games. This ends the season. Season 2 is over. Yes, Season 1 was 20 games. Every season going forward now is going to be 10 games. So
20 was a lot.
20 was a lot.
And we done some games dirty.
Yes.
In that.
So we're just going to drop this out here, Josh. Every re-rank episode we do, it's basically a re-rank / season. So we're going to take these 10 games, we're going to insert them with the existing list of 20, and we're going to find out which is the worst and which is the fucking best game that we've played so far out of 30 games.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds about right.
We're going to sign out. We're going to do a... next episode's going to come at you. It should be good. A lot of nonsense. Just remembering 30 games that mostly probably sucked. But, and we're going to get ready. Do you have a prediction for the next game? How are we going to start next season, Josh? We have themes. We've had FX chip games. We've had Arnold Schwarzenegger games based off movies.
And
we've had an Amiga game.
You know what I even thought about?
What?
This was a simulation game.
Okay.
What was Super Battle Tank? Tank simulation.
You're right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm calling this one. I'm going to, even though this one did release on it, I feel like I would not think of it. We're getting an Amiga game.
You going to go Amiga? Okay,
we're getting a game that was released on Amiga. We're going back to season
roots?
1.
You going back to the roots?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to follow the same suit. I think we're going to get something based off of a movie and or show.
Okay. Roger that. Well, we're going to see if we start season 3 out with a bang or not. We're going to come back at you guys next week with it, okay?
Sounds like a blast.
See ya.